Okay, so I'm going to briefly explain devout tanking, the rotation, methods, and applications. We're going to start off with rotation. It's going to be a 4 nail hit rotation. Okay, so you're going to do side slash, up slash, tank, 2 up slashes. I'll demonstrate it. And then I'll demonstrate it one more time. It's fairly easy and lenient. We do the side slash, then up slash in order to space yourselves properly. Okay, now the first method is going to be a 1 HP full soul tank. So, I'm just going to show that really quickly. Wish that the HP updated properly, but it's okay. So, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do that 4-hit rotation fireball. So this is when you can't use it. You see how fast that devout second attacked? If the devout does that, you're going to need to do a backup, which is going to be the Parry Strap I'll talk about in a second. But just know that can happen. But usually it won't. So that is the proper way to do that devout tank I was talking about. Next up, I'm going to be showing the Parry Strat. The Parry Strat is a backup to the 1 HP tank in order to back you up if you're too slow. So you're going to do the same thing, 3 fireballs, swing, swing, and then you're going to parry that final swing. I'm going to be talking about when to parry really quickly. There's 2 visual cues you can use. So I'm going to wait for the devout to attack, and then I'm going to slow it down and point it out. So you see how, like, it arches its, right there in that freeze frame, how it, like, arches back? That's kind of when you're looking to swing, but not quite. Let me see if I can show it down properly, because I tried slowing it down right when I saw it was attacking. This wasn't, okay. So now we're going to talk. So there's 2 parts to devout. There's these little side parts where the mask is. They're like these sword things that come and swing at you. There's the actual face. So you can either use the cue of this sword going all the way out here and then about to swing at you, or this face moves up and then down before swinging. And right as it's like at the apex of its going up is when you can swing, or when this is at the apex before it goes down you can swing. So right there, if you saw, right before everything sped up, it changed. So I'll try slowing it down again. Right there, right here, right here. See how it goes down and then turns? Right before that turn is when you want to swing. Obviously, practice this, don't just go for it. Okay, the next rotation we're going to be doing is a 2 fireball, 2 HP tank. It's fairly simple. You're going to be leading with 2 fireballs. You don't have to, but we'll talk about that later. And then you're going to be doing the 4-hit rotation twice. And this will kill the devout. You'll end up with some extra soul. So let's talk about the final tank, which is the beginner tank. This is fairly lenient, fairly consistent. Start with full soul. It's a 2 HP tank. So, I don't know what I was doing there. Don't do whatever that was. That's bad. So start with full soul for this one. Fireball 3 times. And then you do that. And that's the fairly lenient one. Under the situation that you only get 3 hits on the first rotation, you will need to tank twice and get 3 hits on the next one, then do 2 fireballs. That's obviously worst case scenario. So let's talk about applications. So this devout, you want to be skipping it, right? You don't want to be killing it, because skipping it only takes 1 HP and keeps you on full soul. So don't lead with fireballs on this one. On this one, you're just going to walk up to it and then try to skip, right? If it pauses in the middle, I prefer to kind of take damage, then pogo. But it's all preference. Now let's see if we get a scenario where it just attacks instead of backing up. Which we probably will, knowing this game's RNG. Okay, so let's go up to it. It attacked, we just do the 4-hit rotation, fireball once, 4-hit rotation, fireball, the rest of your fireballs, and it dies. And the reason we only fireball once is if we don't use all of our fireballs, there's a chance he might back up instead of swinging twice. So we'll see if we can get that. So backs up, and if the devout backed all the way up here, we can just go for devout skip. If we go for devout skip, we'll take another damage, just like we would from killing it, but instead of ending with no soul, we end with about 7 to 8 hits of soul. And we'll talk about what you can do with that soul here in just a second. Obviously, you don't want to get hit again. So, let's say you get devout skip. Yahoo! This is... I killed it by accident. Fat fingered hotkey. Okay, let's say you get devout skip, and you end up with 6 hits of soul. Devout skip. You should use your fireballs here. So, these eggs, you can fireball and kill all the spiders, right? However, sometimes these eggs will spawn other spiders, so for safety you can actually double fireball, and that will kill them. And you might be thinking, well, shoot, you don't have any soul left. Well, we have different ways to get soul, but remember, we have access to a 2 fireball, 2 HP devout tank, right? So if we only take 1 damage to this first devout from devout skip, we can tank the other one with 2. We can get hit 1 time from spiders, and we'll be all good. Alternatively, you can do other tanks and whatnot. You can never go for devout skip. You can never devout tank here. There's different options.